Good morning and welcome to Monday, everybody. It is the Richard Schwartz Show. I'm your host today, Cooper Miles. I'm here with our partner, Mark Fowler. Mark, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
And super associate, Paul Dano.
Oh, good one.
No, I'm sorry.
Paul Dano.
Listen, I've never been mistaken for him. Jake, on the other hand.
Wow, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's true.
Tell him, Jake.
Clue me in. Who's this? Who is?
The actor. What's he known for?
Well, a ton of stuff. But,
yeah.
One of the more recent ones would be Let There Be Blood or whatever it is. The one with the
There Will Be Blood?
There Will Be Blood, yeah. He was the preacher in that one.
Wasn't he in Prisoners too? Is kind of the creepy
my
guy.
boy.
Yeah. Anyway, we did a wine tasting in Italy, and the guy, what are they called?
Sommelier?
Sommelier. Yeah. They thought it was Paul Dano for pretty much the entire time, and they didn't find out until the very end. I hated to disappoint them, but it's okay.
But you got stuff out of it, though?
Yeah, you were going to say, did you get a bunch of comps?
Not quite as many perks as I had hoped. I got like a signed wine box.
They didn't confuse you for Daniel Day-Lewis. They confused you for Paul Dano.
Yeah.
So, anyway, this is a legal call-in show. If you have questions, anything you want us to talk about today, feel free to call in. The toll-free line here is 888-808-8637. And if you'd like to text in on the C Spire text line, that would be 601-879-4395. So it was a big weekend, guys. It was Mother's Day weekend.
Yeah, we had a lot of folks over at our house.
How'd that go?
Well, we had a niece, a nephew, and my stepson's birthday, plus grandmother's Mother's Day, my wife's Mother's Day.
All right.
And a bunch of folks at the house. So we got rid of a lot of celebrations at one time.
Excellent.
Just ball them all up and do it at once.
I like it.
Yeah.
Jake, you do anything fun this weekend?
Visited Mother in Liberty.
Nice.
Played a bunch of Scrabble. Played a bunch of pool. That's our specialty.
How good is she at Scrabble?
Not good enough.
You beat her?
I'm
every time.
kind of a Scrabble expert.
You're the guy that knows all the two-letter words.
Yeah, I think the streak right now spans over 12 years or so.
Oh man,
Yeah.
it's Mother's
I
Day.
think Paul Dano would be a good Scrabble player.
I think so.
You don't know that.
It's okay to let your mom win, but it's Mother's Day.
She got close once, but
Did she?
Fair enough.
But you had persimmon or something, right?
yeah, I got a bingo. Dieted. Just want to let y'all know.
Perfect. Well, I am packing a home and sat around. So again, which can be a glorious weekend doing lots of nothing.
Yeah.
Right. I did go see a movie. I went and saw Thunderbolts.
Was it good?
Yeah. I heard it was good, but
it is entertaining.
Not great.
I'm ready for. I guess the big trend is like nothing is black and white anymore. Everything has to be gray.
Yeah.
Like, is this really a bad guy? Mm-hmm. I think there's a quote from Julie Louis Dreyfus's character. It's like there's not good guys and bad guys. There's bad guys and worse guys.
Okay.
So
Is that like an original story, or is it like some sort of remake?
it is.
For some reason, I feel like this is the also ran people of the Marvel universe, but I'm not that familiar with them to know
it's part of the shtick. It's part of the shtick.
Yeah.
Actually,
Once they have it signed off to Sony or somebody.
Yeah, I think they call it's Kurt Russell's son that played Captain America in one of the shows.
Okay.
And they call like many times in the movie they call him like junior varsity Captain America and things like that. So yes, what you're saying is it's very much part of the trope of the movie. Is like these are the kind of the leftovers. But anyway, it was an entertaining film. I enjoyed having a little time to get out, down there in Cinemark, giving the theaters a little love. I like a good theater experience.
Keep it moving.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, we've given you all a chance to call and text in. No one's taken advantage of that just yet. But if you have any questions you want us to answer off the air, always feel free to call the office. And that is 601 or 662 988-8888. And we'll be happy to take your call and discuss anything with you would like. Mm-hmm. Lots of other big things happening in the world. We'll just kind of brush over the top of it.
You're not going to give them the number to call or text?
I did just a minute ago, Mark.
The 888?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we'll keep doing it over and over.
That's that's the office number.
Lance, back me up
Maybe
here.
I'm wrong.
You nailed it earlier, and you did the toll-free line here. And the
I
text
must have
line.
wandered off. I'm sorry.
And Lance, I would be remiss, since it's been so long since I've seen you, my friend. How are you, and how was your weekend?
Oh, I'm doing great. Nice to see you. I had a wonderful weekend with the family and all that good stuff. Ate good, slept good, enjoyed some outdoor time.
Nice.
And got to celebrate Mom. And
Yeah.
my sister's a great mother, too. So, spending time with them, just couldn't beat it with a stick. So I had a great weekend. I'm hoping that we'll have a little less rain, because my dogs are going a little stir crazy. But the bird dog, he wants to run. And when he runs in the yard like it is, it turns into a horse track, like a mud track. So, yeah, I'm hoping it dries out so the crazies can get out and play a little bit.
Right. Well, the yard turns into a muddy horse track, and then the house does.
No, that's exactly. Then it just comes in. And everything is sand and dirt and mud, and so I'm ready for a little bit of relief there. But yeah, I had a wonderful weekend. Ate too much. Did the all-you-can-eat catfish buffet on Thursday to celebrate. My sister and I and Mom went to that, and then I recovered by Sunday well enough to eat my weight in steak, and which my brother-in-law prepared yesterday. The good old sous vide.
Oh, nice.
And then seared. Yeah, it was delicious.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, man.
What
Brussels sprouts and stuffed peppers.
What
and
is
all
your
kinds of
favorite catfish buffet around here?
That was my next question.
Well, the only one I really know of is Barry's, and I've crushed it a couple of times. And I'm a big fan of Jerry's catfish.
Yeah.
If you want to sit down, and but I love catfish and fried chicken. Those are my two weaknesses when it comes to my Southern DNA.
Fair.
Sweet tea, and then those two. So I'm a big advocate of the fried catfish, and a big advocate of gas station fried chicken. That's my sweet spot there.
Well, right, and that's a thing that a Yankee can't understand. Is it is a art to find the best gas station fried chicken.
I find it. I love finding the gas stations that have the best fried chicken.
Anyway,
Are you not a fan of gas station fried chicken?
me?
Yeah.
Look at me.
Okay.
I'm a fan of all fried chicken, but yeah, you got to be able to go find.
I thought you were messing with me.
No, man.
There's an art form to finding.
Absolutely.
Great,
Well, I don't know if it's an art or more of just like a
Persistence.
Persistence. You have to go and try and go and try and do.
going.
But we have a text. Now, one of us gave out the text line, so we got a text real quick.
Very good.
Let's see. I know we're not criminal firm. That's what it says here. But P. Diddy's trial gets underway today. After jury selection, what do y'all think defense strategy will be?
Get him out of the country to a non-extradition as fast as
I was
possible.
about to say, never put him in the courtroom.
Well, he has jets and other things. He did leave, right, real early in this and actually came back. I figured he was gone. But I have zero criminal experience, don't have much to offer on this topic, unfortunately. But I think the weight of evidence just seems overwhelming from what has kind of been said, at least. So
I don't think they bring those charges against him without all the evidence.
right. So I don't know, beg, or is he going to try to claim, or are they going to try to claim some kind of, for years you had people like, if you will, 50 Cent and all these people saying, no, he's a Fed, he works, he's doing this for the government and collecting information for bribery and such. So who knows? I don't know the answer to that question.
That theory could be the Hollywood Epstein,
And there's plenty of stuff floating around out there that doesn't sound good for the guy.
Doesn't sound great, not at all.
Anyway, so I hate that we can't give you a better answer for that, but you are correct in your text there. We are not criminal attorneys. But maybe after this thing gets going, we like to have some people on here and there. Maybe we'll have a criminal attorney in here one day to
Criminal defense attorney.
Defense attorney, correct. Well, Brent, who used to come in here a lot, would probably have things to say about that. But maybe we'll circle him around another week after this jury selection, and we'll all know whatever their strategy is before too terribly long.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to watch.
Yeah, but appreciate that text, Mike. That was Mike from Madison. And if anybody else wants to text in, you feel free. It's 601-879-4395. Be sure you pull over and text if you're in your car, of course. Or if you want to call in, it's 888-808-8637. And that brings us up to our first break. Listen, we appreciate y'all listening again. This is the Richard Schwartz Hour. We look forward to talking to you again after the break.
We had a little Japanese restaurant on the reservoir, and they've started having a DJ on Friday nights. It's starting at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
I can just tell the crowd is not going to be what he wants to play, but so it's a lot of yacht rock and that sort of stuff. So, but it may pick up later after the old folks leave.
Well, if the word gets out, hello, state of Mississippi, you never know what could happen.
I know. We got a little area out there that looks like it could be developing into a little bit of fun place to be.
Have you eaten there before? What's it called?
Well, Asahi is a restaurant, and then you got the daiquiri place next to it, and you got a Molly McBee, or something like
McBee's?
that. No, it's not that. It's Molly somebody. It's like an Irish bar. And then we got the axe throwing place.
Axe slinging up here.
Yeah, you got the axe place.
And you can get your car washed.
And you got Fernando's in there. And you got a gym. It's a happening little shop out there that used to be just going to,
in the wrong direction.
Yes, but it was all about the driveway. They've fixed the parking lot, and suddenly they have business. Imagine that.
There you go. Make the place easily accessible, and people will access it. I got it.
Yeah, we used to have to put it in four-wheel drive to get through the parking lot. The new owners of that place had done a great job of resurfacing, and it has really revitalized a beautiful little spot that is active and
you got the bowling alley back there too.
Yeah.
The bowling alley is a big deal now. There's always people in there.
It's got to be careful of the frozen pink and orange drink, but yeah, bowling alley. I do like Fannin Lanes. Am I right? Am I correct in that?
Yeah.
And then Black Axes is this other place. Yeah. It's a nice little area they built up because then they put Shaggy's around the corner and all that stuff.
There's supposed to be one going out on 471 too. Somebody told me.
Backwater Grill is
that what
place.
that is?
It's off Spillway Road as you get close to 471 on the left. I think they're getting close to being done with it.
Are they?
Excellent.
I just heard about it the other day.
Well, remember, everybody, if you get a chance to support your local businesses and business owners, get out there and do it. We, of course, at Schwartz & Associates are a local law firm that has been here in the state of Mississippi and the Jackson area for, Mark, 40, 30
Since
years?
81.
81.
Do the math. I'm not sure I
Got some
can.
miles on it.
I was 5. Jake was not born.
-12 or -13.
Oh, my goodness. But speaking of which, speaking of law, we've got another text I'll get to in a second, but this will give me a good chance to give out the number again. Feel free to call in 888-808-8637 or give us a text at 601-879-4395. And if you want to talk to us off the air at the office, 601 or 662-988-8888. Let's see what Neil from Pontotoc has to say. If you own a business for many years and someone in the next county opens the same type of business and names it really similar to yours, is that illegal? Mark has thoughts.
I don't think so. I don't know that. I mean, you could if they tried to copy your business. I mean, it'd be like if somebody had the same name but they were completely different businesses. But if they're trying to copy you and make it as if you were that, let's say some law firm came into town and started calling themselves One Call, or Law Call, or something like that. They were. It seemed like that they were interfering with your business or stealing your clients. Then maybe you could do something about it. But usually that's just bad business, and it's just going to make people think you're petty, I think.
Right. Well, and there's some protections in the law for, at least in law firm wise and ethics wise and confusion and that type thing. I think when you're talking about a business and you're talking about this confusion, it also comes down to, I believe, and please, Jake, correct me if I'm wrong, or anyone, is you've got to try to secure your intellectual property.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you own some kind of chain or if it is something that one that comes to mind. I'll put it this way: if anyone is from the Golden Triangle regional area, there's a restaurant there called Harvey's that I grew up eating at my entire life, and then ended up moving to Memphis after law school and living there. Gosh, and now I'm not going to remember the name of the restaurant up there. But it also started with an H, but it was not Harvey's, but it was something very close, and they were very similar. Same color scheme, a lot of the same menu type items, but the one in Memphis had actually copyrighted and or secured their intellectual property with their business, and they sued. Or it was one way or the other. So forgive me if the owners of Harvey's are listening and I've got this backwards. Let me be very clear. I love your place, and I want to be welcome there every time I come home. Put the wine and cheese dressing back on the menu so I can eat it with the fried mushrooms, please. Anyway, but point being, you have to, establish things to turn around and fight them. So again, and if this is some kind of chain that you own or a franchise, if you will, then there's probably those things already in place for you to turn around and do this with.
Right.
Now we got text coming in. If you want to know, here we go. Now we're talking. If you want to know great gas station food, Mississippian Stafford Sheridan has a Facebook page dedicated to Mississippi gas station food. First of all, yes, he does. And he also has a TikTok channel where he goes to the different gas station and eats the food. And yeah, he's putting in the effort. He's putting in the effort, Lance, so we don't have to all the time.
Yeah, I'll put in the appetite.
Yeah.
I bring that with me everywhere I go.
Point me in the direction of the good gas station food. But yeah, that's great. So, guys, check that out again. A Mississippian doing some things, helping everybody out.
Thank you. Greatly appreciated.
Absolutely.
Wait, everyone's had chicken on a stick, right?
Dial. Hey, there's a great chicken on a stick around here, too. It's over off of 220.
Okay.
Right there, where the Parkway kind of comes in. And or you go into Beasley or something, but there's two gas stations on each side. One's harder to get to. That place has the most amazing chicken on a stick.
The one that's harder to get to?
Yeah, the one harder to get to. It's like a Texaco or something, I think.
That's why they're drawing you in. They're like, look, we're a little more difficult.
Once you get there, and their parking lot's brutal, too, but once you get that fried chicken on a stick, it's got all the goodies, the onion, the tater, the pepper on it.
I'm sold.
So a little extra time to get in there. Maybe your shocks are busted a little bit, but you've got some delicious chicken on a stick. Why not?
You're good to go.
Oh, here we go. So we don't have a name here, but we got a call or a text from North Mississippi, and they said, "Coming to America, McDowell's." So that's a good one. It's a great movie. B, yes, that was a plot point, if you will, of that comedy was McDonald's trying to come after McDowell's.
Yeah.
The Big Mac and the Big Mick?
The Big Mick.
That's right. The Big Mick. That's right.
Those guys don't play the Disney guys and the McDonald's guys and those kind of people. They will come after you. So
I tell you what we struck a nerve with today, evidently, gentlemen, and it is gas station food. Actually, Double Quick Chicken is superior to Church's Chicken, located inside of Double Quick.
Hello.
Okay. All right. Not gonna.
I'm a big Church's fan now. You're gonna have to.
I don't know the last time I had some Church's Chicken. I'm not gonna lie.
I used to love it. I used to think it was
They
great.
put the jalapeno in there with it, and you break it open and squeeze it all over there. It's kind of hard to beat that.
It's good.
We'll see. I hadn't been in a while.
Texas chicken's what that is.
So there's too many Popeyes on my way home. I can't be looking for a Church's.
Too much orange.
Yeah, Popeye's good.
It's everywhere.
Well, excellent. Well, listen.
We're only talking about gas stations, not grocery stores.
That's what we're here for.
Well, how many grocery stores have a great lunch counter?
Yeah.
McDade's, speaking of mix,
McDade's.
always had a great one. All right. Nails one stop next to Starkville in Stewart. Best steaks around on Friday night. Now, I don't know that I've had a gas station steak.
Can't say I have either.
But you've piqued my interest, Bo in Indianola. Junior Food Mart chicken has the best crust. Telling you, people.
Hot issue.
It is a hot issue because we're not wrong.
I think
there's great food around here.
Found the issue of the morning.
Here we go. So, great story on the same topic about Sierra Mist, the drink that Pepsi used to have to compete with Sprite.
Right.
A lady, I don't know if I can say that, a lady with an online account advertised her page with the same name. Pepsi sent her a cease and desist because it was hurting the brand, but they also forgot to renew the trademark for Sierra Mist. So the lady with her online account bought it. And then she told them to shut it down. Wow. Because, they've changed it to what's in the stores now? Forgive me. I think I bought one the other Star or something.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Good one, Mike from Madison again. That's why we don't have Sierra Mist drink anymore.
Oh, no. Yeah.
That's interesting, though. Yeah, because part of the intellectual property thing is, are you hurting the brand? Is there brand confusion, which is part of what we're talking about? So,
I can't see the confusion between those two, though.
All right, before we take this break, the last thing we've got here from Alan in the Delta, he said, with a double quick, you get chicken and a koolickle.
Yeah.
What?
For dessert.
Get the pickle.
Jake said it was confused.
The Kool-Aid pickle.
The Kool-Aid pickle. That's right.
Oh, whoops.
All right, guys, we appreciate you sitting with us through another segment. We'll be back right after this. That is some gas station chicken music if I've ever heard any, Lance.
You know he eats some gas station.
I know he does. I know he
probably
does.
killed the chicken with a bow and then went in there and said, "Y'all fry this up for me. Come on."
Hey, welcome to the Gas Station Chicken Show. I'm Cooper Miles with Jake and Mark, and we're all about gas station chicken. And if you are driving to get your gas station chicken and something happens, you feel free to give us a call at Schwartz and Associates at 601 or 662-988-8888.
Now, I have a question for y'all.
Bring it on.
Related to this. Will you eat fried chicken from a gas station that also sells bait?
Oh, no.
That's a toughie, isn't it? Now, I've debated this in my own, because as I've said, I'm a connoisseur. I'm a sommelier of fried chicken at the gas station. So, but I will do it, but it has to be a certain kind of, a separation.
To me, there's a second question.
I don't want a cricket on my chicken.
Of course not.
Would you eat it in the shop? Where the big?
No, I sit in the car always.
You have to go. Okay.
Well, again, so if I'm fishing in South Louisiana and they sell a po' boy, in the bait shop, I mean, I might do that.
Really?
I mean, maybe.
Then you can't see what's in it.
But I can see because it's in the tank swimming around over to the other side, probably.
Hopefully.
Probably.
Now, there's a restaurant out at the Res that I eat at pretty reg that has the bait shop and the kitchen.
Is it like a separation, though?
It's on one side and on the other. I have no problem with that. But,
fair.
When the bait shop is like right here, and then you've got potential for the cricket, to get a cricket. I mean, if it's chocolate-covered cricket, I'll eat it.
Well, it's a very large percentage of the world that eats bugs for protein. I had a buddy that wanted me to start a cricket protein business with him, and I was like, no, thank you.
What?
Yeah, he wanted me to raise crickets. Now, for here in the U.S., you basically sell that protein to like Purina for like dog food protein. But a lot of the world does eat the bugs.
Well, we always look forward to the spring when the crawfish are coming.
Well, of course, and you can still get some good crawfish at a lot of places around here for a little while longer. So make sure, again, you're supporting your local businesses and going out there and have some of those crawfish, because they started out this season super expensive, but they came down, which was nice. So we got a couple more texts, and feel free to text in, guys, with any opinions on anything you have, and we'll respond the best we can. 601-879-4395. Nobody's called. If you need to give your testimonial right about anything, you call in at 888-808-8637. We got a couple of texts here. Let's get to them. More chicken. The chicken store in Manatee at the four-way stop is cooked in a pressure cooker. Their chicken breasts are the size of an adult's hands put side by side, and they're the crispiest. So there you go.
I like that.
Do you know that Kentucky Fried Chicken cooks all their chicken in a
What
pressure
size is
cooker?
The chicken that I mean, how big is this chicken?
These are Texas chicken. It's fine. Next text. Sierra Mist got bought out by or changed to Starry. Starry.
That's the name.
Yeah.
Starry.
Sorry.
Yeah, I had one the other day. Sierra Mist. Starry. Got it.
Okay.
Hey, all right, one question legal-wise.
Yeah.
Did anybody pay attention to the lawsuit that was filed by the fan over in Georgia regarding Shedeur Sanders being drafted so late? He's filed this lawsuit because he has undergone immense emotional strain and stress that the NFL has basically, colluded to. So, and it's a real suit. He's seeking many scores of millions of dollars in damages for himself, not for Shedeur, but because of him being a fan of Shedeur. And he goes into this great detail, but it's been floating around for about a week.
It's a strain.
And I wanted to ask you guys,
standing.
how does that work? I mean, how can you I mean, that seems very frivolous to me.
Yeah, that's a strained way to get. I don't know how you get standing to bring that lawsuit. I don't think your damages. I don't know. That just doesn't sound right to me. But you never know.
Yeah, not a case I would personally
no, I wouldn't take it.
Want to move forward.
He's got an attorney and everything.
Well, he's paying that guy. I guarantee that.
Right.
That's not a contingency fee case.
Right. So a lot of the times what you'll find, ladies and gentlemen, is if your case has some merit, a attorney would take it on a contingency fee. If it does not seem to have a whole lot of merit, you'll be asking for a retainer.
Yeah.
Oh, you want me to sue the NFL over Shedeur? Sure. I'm just going to need $25,000.
Yeah.
And I'll get this thing fired up right for you.
It's going to be more than that because you're going to have to deal with all the hassle of the news people coming after you to ask you a million questions. You're never going to get to work on that case.
Come on. No publicity is bad publicity. Yes. Whoever this attorney is about to get his name out there for.
Well, but I'm just saying $25,000 seems like a little.
I'm trying to be kind.
Okay.
Me, I want to help people. I want to help you people with. No, I don't. If you have a case like that and I ask you for a retainer, you just go, oh, it's not a good case.
Yeah. Well, I had a friend of mine that he tried to get out of taking a criminal case one time because it was a bit of a sensitive situation, and so he tried to price himself out of it. And he said, like you said, I'll be glad to take your case, but I need, oodles of money. And the problem was the man who was accused looked at his wife and said, "Mama, get the money bag out."
Well,
whoops! So he had to take the case.
Worst problems to have than the client with a money bag. I'm just telling you.
That's true.
All right, we have a text here, an actual legal question. If I drive for a delivery service as DoorDash, do I need enhanced coverage in case of an accident? It's a 1099 independent contractor job, if that's important. Now, I know that if you drive for like Uber or something, you have to have extra coverage because specifically when I go get insurance, they're like, you don't drive for one of those ride services, do you?
Right, but they only have to have minimum coverage, I think, because I had a case that I had got in not too long ago, and our client was the Uber driver, and he was hit by somebody who did not have insurance. And the Uber driver had somebody in the car who apparently just got out and walked away and found another Uber. We never did find out who that was, so we didn't. But the problem was that the Uber driver himself did not have uninsured motorists, and I know we talk about that all the time, but he didn't have it. He had rejected uninsured motorists, and because he was driving, they would not have paid him anyway because the way that their policy was written is if you were doing rideshare at the time of an accident, then you're
right.
That in that case, the UM didn't apply. Now, if he'd have bought from a different company and made sure that like, hey guys, I'm going to be doing Uber and need a rider, I think he may have been able to get UM. But Uber sent us a letter and said, we don't cover this guy. We don't have any UM on our policy. They do cover the people in the car, but not the driver, especially for UM.
Right, and there's no name here, so forgive me for the person who texted us in. You texted in again and said, I do have full coverage. Obviously, it's important to protect yourself. A conversation I'm at least always having to have with clients, and Jake, you can back me up here because I'm sure it's happened with you, is full coverage is not uninsured coverage.
Full coverage means nothing except that you have the minimum amount of insurance that a person has to have to be legal.
Thank you, Nathan. So liability, of course, protects you from if you cause the accident, then it is the buffer between you and, frankly, your assets. Mm-hmm. So if someone can sue you, they're going to get your insurance instead of you. Full coverage is my parking brake went out and my car rolled into a tree. Full, comprehensive, if you will fix the car should you use your insurance. And the uninsured is, in Mark's example, there's an accident, the other person has no coverage, and it will protect you and pay you. If it covers in a business situation, I think you need to have that conversation with your insurance carrier, because different insurance companies have different policies, and the policy language could be different. Meaning, again, I remember when there was a big shift and you started getting asked by your insurance company, hey, are you using this for a ride share? I don't know if they're doing that for like a DoorDash or not, but it's the same kind of concept as now this is a business vehicle and you're using it for business purposes and a lot more driving. Because I remember when you used to not have to put in how much you drive your car.
Sure.
Now I've got to be like, oh, I drive it, 10 to 12,000 miles a year, and you have to put that in there when you get the coverage. So that could be an important conversation to have with whoever your insurance provider is.
Yeah,
no problem.
I always think of somebody's telling me when I've got full coverage. My analogy to that is to say, well, all you're telling me, if you were talking about a house, was you'd say, I own a house. I have no idea what your coverage is, or how big your house is, how many rooms your house has, or how many bathrooms you might have, or whether you have a garage. So an insurance policy, it begins with liability. It can end with liability, and you may not have collision, you may not have comprehensive, you may not have UM or property or medical. So it's like a cafeteria program. They don't just sell a policy that covers everything. You got to ask for it in a lot of cases.
Right. Well, guys, we got a lot of texts that we'll get to after this break. We appreciate everything, Nathan. I hope that answered your question for you, my friend. We'll see y'all after the break. Welcome back for the last segment. We got a few texts to fire through here real quick. Got one for Lance here. It says, my man Lance says he eats at Tommy's.
I'm assuming that maybe Tommy's Trading Post.
I guess that may be your chicken.
I've been all over.
There you go. There you go.
I'm a rambling man.
Texaco T-Mart in Starkville, Mississippi's got some good chicken. Guys, swing by and get you some. Okay, a legal question. Is assisted suicide in the state of Mississippi legal by a doctor and a hospital?
Not that I know of.
Right. I do not believe so. I will not speak with ultimate authority on that, but I would tell you this. No one at this table thought, I read that during the break, no one at this table thought it was. I do not believe it is. And the last text we got here says, you reckon Bob's okay? He used to text every week like Thomas. And with that, we've got Bob on the line.
Like a clockwork.
All right.
All right.
Hey, guys. How y'all doing?
We're doing fine, Bob. How are you?
I thought about the old days back in the 80s. This weekend, I went to see my friend. He plays the piano, and he does slapstick comedy with his 50s music, Jerry Lee Lewis, Elvis, some blues and stuff. And can you believe the younger folks were doing the dancing, the ballroom dancing in the sand?
Oh,
and
nice.
That was interesting to see that. On the chicken side of things, guys, that Sam's chicken is twice as big as that Walmart chicken for the same price, and it's usually a little bit juicier.
Okay.
Bringing the chicken knowledge. I like it.
And, guys, I had to ask you this question today, and I'm really interested in this question because it's going to change a lot of things in our country. Can the President of the United States fire and get rid of judges, sitting judges? And I know the U.S. judges, the federal judges, have a little bit are different when that comes to that subject than the state and the county judges. So can the President of the United States fire, get rid of, remove judges that he does not like or do not go along with the policies that are in place right now?
Well, I appreciate the call, Bob. Mark, do you have thoughts on that?
Well, not
according
to the Constitution. They have to be impeached,
right?
And they have to have done something wrong, that would be high crime and misdemeanor, just like any other person to be impeached, and then it would have to be removed for the whatever crime that they're found responsible for. We've only had a few of them. I think one of our Mississippi judges was impeached back in the 80s, and
I remember that one.
Yeah,
yeah.
But it's very rare, and there's a reason they have to be immune from being influenced like that. They just have to not be afraid that they're going to get fired if they do something somebody disagrees with, and So that's why they made it that way. That's why the founders made it that way. So,
and there is a board of judicial performance
in Mississippi. Yeah, that's for state. We're talking about state.
Right,
yes.
right. Well, you kind of had the question for both, and yeah, correct, Bob. There's a difference between the federal and the state level judges, and of course them being elected here, and we the people would fire them, if you will, by not reelecting them. In the middle part of that, if there's a problem, there is a board of judicial performance, and at the federal level, they're appointed, and as Mark said, they would have to be impeached.
Right.
So,
but yeah, if there's a state judge that does something wrong, then they can be reported to the Board of Judicial Performance, and they'll look into it and see if there's any grounds for it. And if there is, then they could be removed. But it's very rare, again, because sitting on a bench, you're about as immune as you can be from doing things.
Right. We appreciate the call. Oh, go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, I was just saying that it seems like it's a whole lot harder to get rid of a federal judge than a state or local judge.
Right. Well, they're appointed for life.
Part is that's why some of them have been getting arrested, because it seems like maybe an arrest and a criminal charge is the only way to get them removed off of unrelated or related to their duties. Is the only way to get them off the bench, and that's really a hard road to go down. But and I'm sure that y'all haven't always agreed with judges in your careers, and I know that there's judges that you probably don't like, or you like more than other judges, or you get along with them, and it's just the way it is in your business, right?
That's true. That's true. You know, you don't agree with everybody, but the way to deal with somebody who has made a decision that you don't agree with is to appeal that decision, not to try to get them fired. So that's
right. And then the decision that you appeal could be made by somebody that you like, or you get along with, or sees eye to eye with you in the legal terms, and you have a better chance of getting a positive decision.
Correct.
Or an outturn. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I appreciate it. You have a good week and keep up the good work.
We'll do it. Thanks, Bob. Appreciate your call. Good and very good. We didn't get to about 2 text messages here, and I apologize for that. We're up against the break here. But thank y'all for calling and texting in today, and we will catch you all next Monday.